Master, dinner is served. Igor, it's not that I don't appreciate the effort, but you know I prefer my meals uncooked. And how many times have I told you about using garlic? Yes, Master. Forgive me, Master. Please. Bite into Paradelphia. Thursday nights at 8, only on Toxic Radio. Paradelphia, because what if it's all true?
Hi, this is Deep Roy on Toxic Radio. Don't play radio, listen Toxic Radio.
Hey, this is Kel Mitchell and you're listening to Toxic Radio. Uh-oh, it's getting toxic.
What's up? This is Tobin from Papa Roach. You're listening to Toxic Radio. Don't play it safe, play it toxic.
What's up, everyone? This is Jeremy from Five Finger Death Punch, and you're listening to Toxic Radio. Don't play it safe, play it toxic.
While you're rocking with us at Toxic Radio, don't forget to check us out on social media.
I want details, and I want them right now.
Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.
Now you're talking, brother.
Chat with us, keep up on news. Just don't make it weird. Don't be a stalker. Don't be that guy.
You just want to suck the joy out of everything.
Toxic Radio. Get infected. Okay, we all know shit's getting pretty weird recently.
Real wrath of God type stuff.
Exactly.
Fire and brimstone coming down from the skies. Rivers and seas boiling.
40 years of darkness, earthquakes, volcanoes. The dead rising from the grave.
Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together. Mass hysteria.
Well, maybe not all that bad, but people are stuck at home, we're disinfecting everything in sight, and there's no damn toilet paper.
None of this makes sense.
But here's one thing you can count on. Toxic Radio will be here, rocking on with great music and as many of your favorite shows as possible, like the Heavy Metal Happy Hour and Supreme's Funky Contradiction. And of course, nothing can stop the Hair Metal Weekends. So keep it right here with Toxic Radio, and we'll see you through to the other side of this mess. In the meantime, this is the whole crew at Toxic Radio saying, stay safe, stay healthy, and keep rocking. This is one time it's okay to play it safe, but never with your music. Always play your music toxic.
What's up, everyone? Just did not hear too early right there. Let's go. So, welcome back. Good morning or afternoon. And yeah, the fuckery shall start. We got plenty of honorable mentions today. Plenty of them. I know there's a lot of fans out there about fuck a list. Let's just make them all honorable mentions. Right? I don't know. But 856-485-9565 if you want to call in. We'll be talking a little bit of football later on as that season approaches us. It's weird usually talking about football more this time of year, but it's almost like anticlimactic, and I don't know, it just doesn't seem to be as big a conversation as it usually is, especially in Philadelphia if you're listening to the airwaves. But we'll be talking football in the back end of the show. Mush of the week we got for you. That will be interesting. And, as you can see on the screen there, THWEGODFREY. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or you can go to the page Taking It Deep with Lee Godfrey, give it a like, and watch the show live and on YouTube. What's our YouTube address? What is it?
YouTube.com/PlayItToxic.
That's right. Mike is the actual backup for the Hot Pockets guy on the commercial.
I don't even want to know what that means.
Like not the guy who's the first stringer who does the commercial, but in case he has like a throat problem.
Oh,
you sound like you got a perfect voice
fine.
for like the Hot Pocket commercial.
Hot Pocket.
See?
That's, maybe that's a new gig. Maybe I just quit this whole toxic radio thing.
I wonder how much that guy gets for that Hot Pocket commercial.
Oh my God. I want to know how much the guy made from doing where he sucked the Cheez-It stuff off the guy's fingers and said, cheese.
It's odd that you remember that one.
Oh, of course I remember that one. I mean, anytime a man has another man's finger in his mouth, I'm right there, dead center, ready to go.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Don't judge me. Don't you dare judge me.
I'm not judging. I'm just mystified. Oh wow. So some other that's Mike's honorable mention, sucking the man's fingers. Is that
That's my honorable mention for today.
Yeah.
I love my honorable mentions then.
Mush of the week, like I said, we'll be talking Brady's upset and a lot of stuff going on. Do you ever is there people that you like to follow on Twitter that's just like a good follow, like you never know what they're gonna do?
Never know what they're going to do,
or it's just exciting. Like you're like, oh wow, man.
I mean, exciting. I would say, like we were just discussing earlier,
like a shit show.
Steve-O's a good one to follow because like he kept going with the Jackass thing long after they were done, and you literally never know what he's going to post because he posts the crazy shit that he does. So that's definitely a good one.
Yeah, he duct taped himself to a billboard, right?
Yeah, he today at about 9 a.m. in Hollywood. He duct taped himself
in tighty whities.
He wasn't in tighty whities. Those were diapers.
Is that a diaper?
That's a diaper.
So is that because he was going to shit himself possibly at some point?
Yeah, that was the whole.
How long
thing.
was he up there?
He was up there for an hour and a half before the cops came and got him.
Do you notice he had a smartphone with him the whole time?
He did have a smartphone with him the whole time. Yes.
Amazing.
Let me see if I can pull that up. But yeah, Steve-O was up on a billboard as if he was duct taped to it. Basically, is what he was going for.
It looks like electrical tape, though.
It was electrical tape, yeah.
Why does everybody have to default to duct tape? So like everything's duct tape. It's fucking electrical tape.
Here we got a good picture of him right here for the viewing audience. There he is after he had taken off the layer of duct tape to reveal that he is.
Do you think that could be a sign from God? Those almost look like angel wings.
It does look like dark angel wings, very dark angel wings. He is wearing a adult diaper in case he had to pee or shit. But yeah, that was his stunt, and he did post on Instagram. Let me see if this will come up. A video of him. I guess that's not the video, but some of the pictures of him. But yeah, so Steve-O, you never know what he's going to do, and he's definitely a good follow.
Now he's doing that because he's got a comedy special that just came out, correct?
Right. That's it's called Gnarly.
Someone said it was good. I wonder if it is.
I watched it. Me and Laura watched it. It was definitely badass. If you're a fan or were a fan of Jackass and that whole gang, they're all there.
So does he get into like stories about it, antidotes?
He goes into stories. He has the whole Jackass crew in it. He also has a couple of the Jackass crew come out. Danger Aaron comes out. Wee Man comes out. His dad comes out on stage, and they do some stunts live on stage for the audience that was there. I'll tell you 100%, there are certain things that he does in this video that had me kind of like, ugh, it creeped me out. It disgusted me. And if you disgust me, you've
I don't know if I can watch it.
You've accomplished your goal.
Wow.
So definitely one to check out. Yeah. So I would suggest going to, and this is a plug that nobody's paying for. Exactly. Steve-O.com.
I mean,
it's called Gnarly. It's for $10.
They drank horse jizz in the one Jackass. Right?
Yes, and I think
it goes above the horse jizz.
I would have to say that there's a stunt that he does in this that it goes above the horse jizz, in my humble opinion. So,
really,
definitely one to check out. Again, only $10, and you
have to pay for it.
It's $10, but it's $10 to Steve-O. It's funding him to be able to continue doing this stuff. I will always pay a premium to fund somebody who entertains me on a daily basis to be able to continue to entertain me. So I have no problem with putting forth towards social entertainment for all.
Yeah, no, I feel that way sometimes.
Especially when it involves, pubes being glued on people's faces.
Well, that's the new way you go. I mean, right now, I saw an article that AMC, I believe, is going to let you do 15-cent movie tickets when they reopen.
When they reopen, they try and get people to come back because so many people are used to just streaming at home.
I feel like that. So as far as movie theaters go, I feel like Corona accelerated the obvious as far as that venue went.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost like the best way you're going to be able to do it. If I was AMC, I would be investing in land and buying spaces where I can do a drive-in movie theater and put up a giant screen.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And I don't know if they're doing that. Maybe they are. But my point of me bringing it up is I feel like we were headed that way anyway as far as stream movies. Like, I want to see that Tom Hanks movie, but apparently you have to have it on Apple TV only right now.
Right.
I guess. But it's the same thing as going out to a movie or a comedy show.
The best thing that came, you were 100% correct, and the best thing that came out of coronavirus, one of the best things, I mean, obviously Toxic is killing it, but other best things.
Well, we'll have some honorable mentions of things that were actually a positive result.
Oh, do you have that coming up? Then I'm going to keep that to myself.
We do. Well, honorable mention would be no traffic.
No traffic. Well, no, oh my God.
At least in our area.
Coming home from work, honorable mention of coming home from work with no traffic. That was so beautiful. If you're in the Jersey, South Jersey area, and you know 295 during rush hour, it was so nice.
I got from
to drive all the way home.
I got from Northwest Philly, which is like Roxborough area, all the way to here in about 40 minutes. That was with a little traffic.
It was beautiful.
If that was pre-COVID, that's at least an hour and 20 minutes this time of day.
Absolutely. But going with the movie thing, the whole fact that they started releasing movies at a premium of $20 a pop, and I did it for Suicide Girls, was awesome. And
I heard that movie was like trash.
It wasn't trash. It was okay. It's one of those movies where if you're really into
it was fuckable.
If you're into
it was a fuckable movie.
It was a fuckable movie.
Okay.
If you're into the characters,
fucks with it.
If you're into that storyline, it was a good movie. If you're not, and you really just got introduced to it and the storyline and the people from the first movie, maybe not. Or if you're just watching it for Margot Robbie, I don't know. But anyway, I had a little one-up on everybody. I have VR, so when I bought the movie, I could in VR with a date go to the movie theater and watch it on a big screen and have that movie theater experience while sitting in my living room. Unbelievable. If you only got a VR system to watch movies because you just wanted the cheaper, easier, more accessible, faster accessible movie going experience, holy shit, it was amazing. But it truthfully showed people that you can watch movies at home with your family, and you don't have to go out and watch it with other people that could talk, that could disrupt, that could be crowded, where you're sitting next to somebody who's trying to fight you for the armrest. You don't have to do all that. You can watch it at home and pay a premium, and I think people will do it. I think that really...
You can jerk off in the privacy of your own home. You don't have to go through a Pee Wee Herman incident.
Laura's yelling, I'm that date.
Yeah,
yes, Laura was the date.
You don't have to... remember when you were a kid and Pee Wee Herman got caught jerking off in a movie theater?
Yes.
My parents told me about that to be like, he's a bad man. And, I grew up thinking like, man, what a pervert. Now I'm like, he was just beating his meat. In an adult theater.
Yeah, where you're in a place that you're supposed to be doing that.
Now, if he was doing that in the playground,
yeah,
okay.
He was at a theme
I'm
park,
totally with you.
A water park.
I feel like he's made a strong comeback, but I feel like, he went to an adult theater to beat his meat. I'm like, dude, what did people think when they used to have those adult theaters? Did they think people were there playing fucking bridge and like rummy and shit? Oh yeah. Oh, hold on a second. I want to see this penetration scene. Don't hold my hand. It's my turn. Hold on. Oh wow, that is. Woo!
Yeah.
I mean, what a rooster.
It's ridiculous that even happened when he was in a place that you were supposed to do that, not at an arcade. Like, I just got the high score. He turns around, he's just jerking it. Yeah, I agree.
First off, I feel like, not that I've ever been to these theaters, but I feel like the rules would have to be similar to the rules of the urinal. If you are jerking it, because I'm pretty sure this happens in the theater, unless I guess there's someone doing it with you. Maybe I'm pretty sure back in the day some freaky people used to bring like girls into those places and like, hey, let's watch porn and bang in public. I know it happened.
Oh, of course. Absolutely.
Some of you out there who are listening to this show might have been conceived in a porn theater, and you don't know that your mom was the dirty, dirty girl with your freaky, deaky dad.
With your drunk dad.
Hey, you know what would be romantic? Let's watch porn and fuck in front of people.
Yes.
Yes. No, I'm just saying, but it should be like the urinal. Don't be looking at me, all right? You look straight ahead. We don't have conversation.
Oh, I mean, if you're a buddy of mine, we are having conversation.
So you violate the urinal rule.
Oh, absolutely. If we're in there and we're buddies and we're standing there, yeah, absolutely, we're gonna violate that rule. By the way, while you're thinking of Pee Wee Herman doing that, just imagine this picture, which is a picture of Pee Wee Herman giving that smirk that he always gave. I just thought that was.
So you're saying that's his nut face?
That is that, or the face he made right before he unzipped. That's the face right before you unzip.
Well, Yeah. I don't know.
I will talk to you when you pee, by the way, just so everybody knows it.
So if you've ever been to Wrigley Field, the old one, and they have the same one from like 1909, and I think the bathrooms might have been redone. But when I went there, and it was for Phillies fans, it was when Roy Halladay had that like heat stroke. So then they thought in Chicago, I was at that game, went to take a piss, and it was a trough. But there's no divider, so you just had to.
You just do your thing.
Your dick out.
I've been I've pissed in troughs.
I'm not a fan of the trough.
Well, I don't give a shit. I don't care how close we are when we're peeing.
What if some
I'll
dude
pee back to back with you.
What if some dude sneezes and his stream gets rattled and it just goes toward you?
It's pee.
Really?
It's pee.
Now it's Corona pee too.
Well, it's good. Now it's Corona pee. But back then, when that was a thing, it's pee. You go wash your hands.
I can't wait for a meme to come out. We can't, go to a small business, but we could piss next to each other in the urinal. I don't see these socially distanced urinals.
It's pee.
First of all, unless I have to go really bad, I try to have a space in between one urinal and the other.
What? I don't care. Actually, I'm more inclined to if I walk in.
So if there's four urinals,
I'll say if there's 10 urinals. Those big ass ones like at the concerts where there's 10 urinals and there's one person at one of them. I'm going to go stand next to that guy.
Yeah, you're that guy. And Fisher's right. The vet bathrooms were no, they weren't troughs, but they were tough though. And I remember hearing stories about when the women's bathrooms would get so backed up at certain concerts or certain games that they would just go invade the men's bathroom.
Oh yeah, well women are allowed to do that. Men aren't allowed to do that to the women's bathroom, and that's a thing that I want to change. That shouldn't be that way. That's sexist. And you know what? We have to have equality. Women, if you're allowed to come into the men's bathroom, the men are allowed to go into the women's bathroom at concerts.
Well, listen, I don't really think that's a huge deal when it comes to adults because here's the thing: when you go to certain clubs, bathrooms are unisex.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh yeah, that is true. That is
the only thing true. You might say like, "Wow, man, I'm really surprised. That girl's like 100 pounds, and it sounded like she was squeezing an empty mustard bottle."
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, the vet bathrooms were rough. I remember that, but they weren't as rough as the Chicago one.
Yeah, women do always do that. They go into the men's room because men will look over and go, "Hey," and they don't care. If men go into the women's bathroom, it's "Ooh, get out."
Well, yeah, I've never experienced that. I'm gonna have to take your word on that.
I have.
Oh, okay.
I had to go into a women's bathroom one time to puke. It was at Tattooed Moms.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got drugged.
Whew.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Yeah. So, you ever see Lenny Dykstra on Twitter?
No, I have not. I don't follow him. Is he good to follow?
Yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of stories out there.
Mm-hmm.
It's maybe kind of sad, but it's just like he has a podcast called Pawning Nails, and he's terrorized his neighbors, but he's like a meth head.
Oh,
I was trying to find a video clip.
I didn't know
of
that.
him telling the way you satisfy your lady during Corona is you got to go down on her, and he had a whole song about it.
Wow.
I can't find it.
Is that how you? I thought that's how you get the Rona.
No, well, I mean, it might have been someone that he was living with. So who knows? Maybe
going down on women. By the way, for the men out there, just know, going down on a lady, that's how you get the Rona.
Mm.
That's actually was proven. Fauci was on TV the other day. He said, "Please do not give girls oral sex. You're spreading COVID."
No, he didn't.
He did. That was a thing.
Get the fuck out of here.
That was a thing.
Yeah. So, well, good luck, Fauci. I mean, that might be a deal breaker for someone.
For some, not for all.
I mean, no, did he really say that?
He did.
No fucking way. No, I don't believe you. He says any type of sex act could increase coronavirus transmission.
Right, any kind of sex act. That means...
Doesn't just mean oral, though. It means any kind.
Right, so people don't have any kind of sex. There should be no sex during the COVID.
I mean, doesn't that make it more exciting? I'm going to bang you so hard you're going to have COVID-19 after this.
There is no sex during COVID right now. You should not be having it.
I'm going to break your hype. I'm going to break your hip.
So that should be the service announcement, the public service announcement of taking it deep is to don't take it deep and pull away. Don't have sex.
I think it should be more, you can't go wrong if you shield your dong.
There you go. I'll put that on a hat. Actually, I want to put it on an apron.
You can barely get people to wear a mask. Imagine them be like, you know what you can't do? You can't do butt sex anymore. They're going to be like, I will die doing butt sex. That's what they'll say. I mean,
get in the car. We're doing butt sex.
Yeah, you barely can get people to wear a mask. You're going to be like, you know what? You can't go down on anyone.
Yeah, just don't.
There were people doing cartwheels like, oh, hell no. Hell no, Fauci. No way, Jose. I don't know.
President Trump just puts out a public service announcement. He does a speech where he just talks about oral. If you're patriotic, go down.
I mean, they did have the one debate where they were talking about dick size.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That was a good one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was pretty entertaining.
You know Trump's got a small one.
You
know he's got a tiny one. He's got one of those ones that looks like a turtle's head.
A lot of them have a tiny one, but I will say he's one of the few that have a description of his PP out there from an interview. I don't know if she's telling the truth or not, but what was the porn star that...
Oh, not Mary Carey.
No.
Who was it? I know who you're talking about.
I
yeah,
can't
the porn
remember
star.
too, and it's off the top of my head.
Uh-huh.
She said he had a mushroom dick.
Yeah, he definitely looks like somebody who'd have a mushroom dick.
Oh, man, what the fuck was her name? Well, 856-485-9565, anyone's calling, but her name...
Stormy Daniels.
Stormy Daniels. Did someone tell us that?
No, I just found it.
Stormy Daniels, yeah.
Stormy Daniels.
So, and apparently he did like getting spanked with his own Trump magazine. That was the thing, too, rolled up.
Of course. Why?
I couldn't believe I was watching 60 Minutes and I was like...
Why wouldn't he?
Okay.
Why wouldn't that be a thing?
Right? So, what was your honorable mention you said you had earlier?
Oh, the honorable mention was what we were talking about. Jesus Christ, we went on a tangent. Oh, it was about the movies. It was about the movies and you know the whole deal of them movie theaters going away. That was the good thing of COVID, which made everybody
honorable
realize,
mentions of COVID.
Yeah,
traffic,
like
movies. Things that suck because of it. Drive-throughs are the worst now. Sometimes, because no one could go in, so they're ordering all their food through the drive-through.
Oh, I don't fucking do that. No, one of the best things is not having to go to like Red Robin or restaurants and realizing the joys of Grubhub and stuff like that, where you can get that restaurant style food.
But sometimes the food doesn't taste as good.
Oh no,
home.
No, Red Robin tastes amazing. That was another thing that I'd never.
I put Red Robin slightly above White Castle.
What?
I mean,
you're a crazy person. You are insane.
It's not that great of a burger.
You are clinically insane. You are a crazy person. Somebody should smack you for even thinking.
You like
that.
Red Robin?
Red Robin is amazing. Red Robin.
You get the chicken fingers when you go?
I don't get the chicken fingers. I get the burger wrapped in lettuce.
Now,
their burgers are amazing.
That's what's even more amazing is that you're going to a burger place so you can wrap it in lettuce.
Oh yeah, I mean,
I get why
they give you the option of do you want a bun or do you want a lettuce wrap, and I get the lettuce wrap.
Does the waiter ever go to you like, "Does that taste good, buddy?" Would you do that?
Just talking to the other people, like, look, lettuce.
How's that taste? Does he take a piece of bread and lick it and look at you like, How do you like that, buddy? You want a sundae with that? No, I mean, Red Robin. All right, so I mean, I guess there's some positives to it, but I do eating out, interacting with people. The bars were fun. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure that's coming back in certain spots, but I mean,
a horrible thing that came out of it was Zoom drinking nights and Zoom game nights. Even though it was fun to see your friends and to play a game, it
depends who you have on there, though.
You know what was sad about it was at the end of the night when you're drunk and everybody's logging off and you log off and you just realize you're drunk at home, alone, and going to bed. Like, for the little bit of time that you were on that Zoom
that could be great,
meeting.
though. I mean, what if you didn't want anybody in your bed that was on that Zoom call?
Oh.
You know what I mean? Why not?
That was another thing I didn't like, the Zoom meetings. Again, I liked it for what it was, but it reminded you about COVID, and it was something that you knew
Well,
once
there's
it,
a- I
you knew
kinda
once
like
once it
Zoom
was
meetings
over.
because that's why there's less traffic. There's people working from home,
Right.
less traveling to the office, because of that. And I guess companies are trying to save money that way, or people are like, oh, I don't need to like commute to work all the time. I think commuting to work is one of the worst wastes of time possible if you can avoid it. Sometimes you can't because of situation, but like to me,
or because of your job title, yeah.
right, hour and a half each way. Some people do that. That's like what? So that's 3 hours a day, 5 times a week times 52.
Yeah,
That's
it's
a whole fucking week.
ridiculous. Yeah.
Like me personally, wow, that's just a lot, you know. So the traffic is, I think there's a lot of other negatives, but I'm just, you know, that's the only positives I can really think of. You still get like shore traffic sometimes, right? So that's happening still. I mean, you still get.
I mean, one of the other positives was a lot of girls decided to make OnlyFans pages, and a lot of girls went home either laid off or working from home and realized, hey, I can make some extra money during lunch break.
By that you mean strippers,
but no, I know some coworkers who actually made ones, former coworkers who made one during COVID and were pulling in $5,000 a week off of it.
Like stripping?
Just showing a tit here and there and showing some ass, and boom, they're getting money.
Guys are so fucking thirsty.
Dude, it's ridiculous. All she did was create a Twitter account, start showing a tiny taste and saying, join
Maybe
my
that's what Ice-T meant when he
OnlyFans.
said pimping ain't easy, but it sure is fun.
And then she started an OnlyFans, and boom, $5,000 a week.
Is that why she's a former employee?
No, I'm sure it is. Probably has something to do with it. But yeah, I mean, if you realized all you had to do was show a nip and show some ass, and you can do it from the privacy of your own home with a camera, and just have a page where people are paying to see that, and you're making $5,000 a week. Sheesh, you kidding me? You'd be stupid,
right? That would be pretty dumb. So speaking of dumb, speaking of Rona, we're gonna go to our mush of the week.
Mush
of the week. Where the fuck is this guy at?
Where is he? Would you lose the mush?
No, it's like you put the link in there and then it takes you back to TMZ has the worst website sometimes.
They do. And
I'm like, okay, yeah, that's cool.
It is horrendously horrible to try and navigate through the TMZ.
It's like they made it like with you know, some like, make your website here. You know, $10 a month. But anyway, NFL's Kaheem Servand, and you're like, who the fuck is that? That is true. They said no soup for you for this gentleman because he broke coronavirus rules. Fired by Seahawks, he allegedly tried to sneak women into team hotel. The Seattle Seahawks ain't playing around about COVID-19 precautions. They just cut a rookie, reportedly, all because the guy tried to sneak a woman into the team's hotel.
Wow.
Here's the deal. The NFL Network's Tom Pelissero says Kemon Savard, I'm probably butchering that name, but no one's going to know his name after this anyway, so whatever. You're a super fan if you call me out on that, like, I don't know, a year from now. Attempted to dress up a female companion like a Seahawks player. So not only did he wow. In an attempt to get her past security and into his room, this dude is thirsty. He should have went to OnlyFans.
Absolutely.
Now they're like, you have a chance to fulfill your dream and make it in the NFL. Or you could try to sneak some random ass in your room, and it could cost you your career, perhaps.
But that shows you how stupid men are when it comes to the poo-hi.
Yeah, so and with Pete Carroll implementing a bubble-like atmosphere for the Hawks, that's a big no-no.
Oh, yeah.
Pelissero says the Seahawks busted the hell out of Savard's literal operation and fired him for putting the team at risk of a coronavirus outbreak. Pelissero adds, the cut was meant to send a message to both Savard and Seattle's entire roster, and that's perfect because if Russell Wilson did that, they weren't cutting him. They would have been like, well, Russell, come on now. You have to publicly apologize. And you have to tell people you're sorry. This guy's a 7th rounder, undrafted free agent. They're like, you're out.
Yep.
Get the fuck out.
Goodbye.
Might not even made the team. So that was a perfect opportunity to him for making an example out of someone. So let that be, if you're in a position to be expendable, don't make yourself in the position to be an example. That's what this guy did. And, of course, the decision to fire Severin was a pretty easy one. The cornerback was an undrafted free agent, so they didn't even spend a draft pick on him, who had a little chance of making the roster anyway. But still, message heard loud and clear, Pete, no booty in the bubbles. That's on TMZ Sports. Crazy. So that is something where we were concerned about that because we all want to see football. Now, I will say their response was much quicker and swifter than the Major League Baseball outfit. And we see the Cardinals haven't played for almost over a week now, and they have 18 players testing positive, including coaches.
It's crazy. It's just ridiculous.
So, the NFL, like I said, they're going to have their season because they're going to watch everybody do it wrong and do it right. So, now Jerry Jones was talking about, having fans in a stadium. He's out of his goddamn mind. And some fans are like, well, let people choose. That's not really letting people choose. You stupid ass.
You stupid ass.
Because here's the thing. One, we all know, most football fans, I would say, would agree that it's better to watch your favorite teams, especially with a lot of people doing fantasy football and watching Red Zone at your house, your favorite bar, your friend's house, than going to a stadium. Now you got to pay for that risk. Maybe you don't believe it's real and you want to go. Be my guest. However, that's where it becomes someone else's choice because if it spreads, it takes one game or two, probably one, for it to spread in a stadium, and then they're going to shut it down. So that asshole wants to bring in fans. No. Let the players play. I think the fans can't come, this year, or at least in the beginning part of the year, and play it safe. That way we get the sport in. See, at the end of the day, we want to watch the sport. And the NFL is overpriced anyway. So I hope that happens so that way they can't, it's only 8% of the revenue is the in-person revenue.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope that happens. Now, it does save jobs. I get that too, but they're seasonal jobs. People, you have other jobs. Maybe not. Maybe that's what their retirement job is. I don't wish that on those people. However, if you have a major outbreak, it sets everything back. So I'd rather err on the side of caution. I don't see anything with wrong with not erring on the side of caution. And then if you're wrong, you're like, okay, well, we were a little too cautious on that one. If you are under cautious, then you have to clean up the mess. If you're under cautious, there's most likely not a mess to clean up.
You're always going to have those people, no matter whether it's sports, whether it's a company, whether it's just out in public. You're going to have those people that just don't want to be told you have to do something. I
don't want to go on the coronavirus rant, but that's what's dominating the news. And with sports and respect, I want to see the sports happen. Now, I don't know if you guys heard about the Big Ten was being canceled, or they suspended the fall season, the Big Ten and the Pac-10, from what I understand. And I totally get that. A lot of people said, well, what about those kids? And here's the thing about that. I agree, but if you're that good, 2% of NCAA athletes go pro according to NCAA statistics, okay? 2%. And most people are talking about football and basketball here. If these kids are good enough, they will make it. Some are fringe kids. Maybe you don't get the Joe Burrows of the year where they had that really good senior season, and that is unfortunate. But you're also asking these kids to do it for free rather than professionals who are getting paid and have contracts. So you also have to understand there's probably a liability aspect for the schools as well. Now, the SEC said they're going through with their season. Big surprise there. But, who are they going to play? Are your major players going to opt out and not play? Or, if I'm a top-tier draft pick, I'm thinking, you know what? Maybe I sit out this season and I just declare for the draft or something to that effect. The XFL was just bought by Dwayne Rock Johnson. Did you know that?
Yeah, that's fucking amazing. I love that. I love that The Rock did that. Cause
I would love to be in it.
Because I feel like The Rock doesn't touch anything that he doesn't think will do good.
I like it because it's really weird because he plays a guy on his show, or that show he was on. What was the show? The sports show. Did you watch the one?
I don't think I did because I don't know what you're talking
about. Really good show. It's kind of like Entourage meets sports.
Okay.
And I'll remember the name in a second, but it was Ballers, and he was going to help buy a team and reshape the league, and that's the way it ended. Well, now he's buying a league with a bunch of partners, and I think the XFL would have done well if COVID didn't kind of cut their season in half.
Mm-hmm.
Bad timing. Wasn't Vince McMahon's fault this time. I enjoyed it. It gave us something to watch. Football, I think, can be popular all around if they, so it could be their minor league. The point of me bringing that up is, if you have a stronger minor league system, I always thought that basketball and football should develop that, because then college sports, hey, you won't be getting that money that you thought you were getting, and charging a lot for school on top of that. Not only do they make billions from it, these schools then charge premium dollar on top of that. Like fucking Penn I saw them send out a notice. Oh, we're going to drop tuition by 3.9%. Boop, 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 because it's all virtual. Get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean?
Now, wait, I got to ask you a question. So, do you pay attention to the XFL? I'm sorry for interrupting, but
I did.
I didn't know who this woman is. Apparently, Danny Garcia. With the purchase of XFL, Garcia becomes the first woman to own an entire sports league. She is an American business person, producer, and is the founder, CEO, and chairwoman of Garcia Companies and TGC Management. In this role, she oversees...
Isn't that The Rock's ex-wife?
Is that who that is?
I'm pretty sure.
I've never heard of her.
I could be wrong.
But I did not know that, so I just learned that right now, that apparently The Rock...
Yeah, that's The Rock's ex-wife.
Okay.
So I think he helped buy it for her.
Oh, Garcia met Johnson while attending college. Oh, so he assisted with her. I get it now. Oh, wow. Very interesting. I'm going to have to...
Yeah, I like the XFL. I thought it was different. It put a wrinkle in there, and it gives... So, I feel like this. Like, you get these preseason games to see these players develop, and that's what we all need to predict fantasy football, outcomes of seasons, which we'll talk about odds later, very shortly.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem is you're not getting that now, right? So, if you get a whole season, these people that might be fringe prospects or just slip through the cracks now are going to get, pro experience. It's more experience than college. And I just feel like I wasn't a big fan of college football anyway. So I get the kids that have been working hard, but you can't be asking these kids that are doing it for free to put it on the line so they can be like tackling dummies for these guys that are going to be going into the NFL anyway.
Right.
To me, that's how I look at it. If I'm a parent, I'm not, but if I was, I would be questioning, what are the motives here? And I would be, to use a famous Ricky Wooders term that my Eagles fans will know, for who, for what, right? Now, if they think they can make it, there's open tryouts. You can get a tryout. If you're that close to that level, you can get a fucking tryout somewhere. Like, if you're that close to being pro, it happens. They will find you. You just got to keep going forward.
Mm-hmm.
An NFL season should not stop you from getting there. That's just the way it is. And you will see some of it. And I like the XFL. Maybe I can get to announce for him someday. They just have like an all cursing hour. That's a fucking bomb. No. He took it deep. No.
Well, I'll work on my contacts with the XFL and see what we can make happen for you.
Maybe we can live stream from them. It could be their network. That'd be great.
Yes.
I would do a naked Irish jig in the street if that ever happened.
Don't know if that's what they're looking for. I have a sense that The Rock might and his ex-wife might poo-poo that idea.
Nice. Speaking of what they were looking for, Joe Montana was saying that Brady was looking for a new team because he was upset the way the Patriots were handling his input over the offense, and so he was out. And I believe that because I think Tom Brady would have stayed for less money. That guy's got more than enough money, and I think he's on a mission to prove that he could do it without them. And Bill Belichick's on a mission to prove he could do it without Brady, and it's one of the most interesting underreported storylines going on right now. And I do think Tampa Bay is going to be a really good team, and we're going to talk about that as far as the season win totals. But Joe Montana was basically said. They ask my advice, I tell them, and they don't take it. So Joe Montana says Tom Brady told him that was a real issue in England. And that quote that opened up with was from Tom Brady. And Joe Cool believes it's one of the biggest reasons why TB12 is no longer a Patriot. I think that's one of the beefs up there, Montana told USA Today. On Wednesday, I think he would like a little bit of input. Joe said in another interview with Sportsmat Radio that Brady broke it all down for him when the two were at the NFL 100 ceremonies at the Super Bowl in February. I don't think he was happy with the way things were progressing there and his ability to have input, Montana said. So, of course, Brady has never publicly explained what made him leave New England for Tampa, but it's clear Montana believes Bill Belichick had given the QB more say in the offense. He might still be a Patriot. So, regardless of that, Bruce Arians now has him now, and I still think Tom Brady has a shot. So, isn't that cool? This kid was a 7th-round draft pick. I know a lot of people like to hate on Tom Brady. I think his hero was Joe Montana, and now Joe Montana is commentating on how he might feel to the press.
Yeah. So that's pretty badass.
Your hero is going on as a surrogate for you.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I gotta get Howard Stern to do that for me, or Opie and Anthony. That'd be great.
Are they around still?
Who, Opie and Anthony?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not together. They're separate. They Opie kind of has burned every bridge he possibly could with all of his old friends, and Anthony still broadcasts out of New York. He has his own network.
Nice.
Yes.
So we're going to read all some football real quick here. And, yeah, that's what we're going to do. Might have Uncle Pat call in.
You might have Uncle Pat call in. I don't know if these days...
485. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know if these days calling somebody Uncle Pat, as he calls it, is a good idea. It just sounds wrong.
Does it?
Yeah, to me it does.
Listen. It's fine.
It's fine?
They know. The Deepers know.
They know?
The Hulkamaniacs, the Deepers, that's what they call them.
The Deepers?
Yep.
They go deep with Uncle Pat?
Yeah. Phone lines are up?
Phone lines are up. Dude, the phone lines are up.
Yeah, so...
My pants are up.
Good, I'm glad, because we all know how you like to talk at the urinal, put your pants around your ankles, and have no dividers next to the person next to you.
Have you ever been in the urinal and a grown-ass man has just taken his pants all the way down to his ankles?
I've seen it once. I think I've seen it once.
I've seen it. It's usually at a sports game.
He was either drunk or he just had, he didn't have a full Happy Meal.
Right.
Going on. So, yeah, that's pretty true. So, honorable mention.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just joking. So, yeah. All I know is, the rule is, if there's like 5 urinals, you can't just go next to the guy and urinal 1 and go right to urinal 2. You got to go to urinal 5. And then if a guy comes in and there's one at 1 and 5, then you got to go to urinal 3. That's the rule. Only do you take the middle seat is if there are no other urinals available. And I believe if we had a heat map of this pattern, we would see it play out most of the time if we were able to contact trace people from the bathroom entrance to the urinal. Right?
You're a nutcase, you know that?
I mean, it's true. Don't you think so?
It's only pee. Just think about if you were in a zombie apocalypse and, the only nutrient you were going to get was from pee. You'd do it. I don't know what that is.
That was the fart.
Oh.
Better for you. So, anyway, there was more than there than we thought. So, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are favored to win they're not favored to win a Super Bowl, but they really have a really good shot, and their odds went up immensely when they got Tom Brady, obviously. And then Rob Gronkowski really didn't make a move a lot, but they weren't favored to even win the division. Oh, no, I'm sorry. They were favored to win the division. That's another one. I'm getting mixed up. And they definitely weren't favored to win the division, and they definitely weren't favorites to win the Super Bowl. I think they went up from like 40 to 1 to like 20 to 1, and now it's even higher than that. I think it's 16 to 1 last time I checked. And websites love to kill you with the pop-ups, right?
You still have pop-ups? Jesus Christ. Are you using a Microsoft Internet Explorer?
No. I think I have that turned on. I don't know how they got past it. But anyway, the Buccaneers are plus. They're 14 to 1 to win the Super Bowl. They got the Saints at 12 to 1. The Niners at 10 to 1. The Ravens at, 6.5 to 1, so it's plus 650, and the Chiefs at plus 600. What a boring list this is. I feel like that hasn't really moved a lot. Because no preseason. Usually we have several preseason games under our belt now. I think we'd be going to about the 3rd preseason week, if I'm not mistaken, maybe number 2. So you might see a little bit more of the starters, and it's hard to get a real grip on how people are going to look at new systems, new teams, players going to other places unless they're familiar with that system already. Things you have to take into account, and injuries. They got the Cowboys at plus 1,700, the Patriots at plus 2,200. They really dropped up. The Eagles are at plus 2,000. So, there's a shot. But, there's the obvious ones like the Jaguars are plus 15,000. That's crazy. So, it's because that's never going to fucking happen. Throw $1 on it, though. Why not?
There you go.
The Jets are plus 10.
Take the pick.
Yeah, I mean, the Browns would be a nice one at plus 4,000. Not that I don't think that's going to happen, but if you want to take a long shot, you go after the...
Are people still gambling on sports right now?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? There's not much going on.
When there wasn't any sports going on, horse races kept going. And the horse racing took a huge uptick, like the simulcast and things of that nature.
Really?
Yeah, people were betting
something I would have never known.
Online gambling, so you got online poker.
I mean, online poker, but yeah. There's definitely a difference between sports betting and gambling, card games and stuff.
You can do it right from your phone now.
I would think that somebody who's really big into sports betting isn't somebody who's really big into craps. Again, gambling is gambling.
I'm big into sports betting, but you're right. I'm not big into craps. I like 3-card poker. I like
but if you had a choice, you'd do sports betting more, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because I feel more comfortable. There's certain sports I don't like. Don't ask me to bet baseball. I mean, I love baseball and I know it, but I haven't gotten a grip on that. Definitely don't ask me to bet basketball. I could bet.
Is it wrong to ask you what's your biggest bet and on what sport was it?
That's football.
Football. What's your biggest bet the most amount you put down?
See, I don't do large bets. I cap myself at 100.
You do cap yourself at 100.
Yeah.
Okay, so then what's your biggest win?
I would say I hit a 6-team parlay and I hit for I think it was $600.
Oh, that's not bad.
And it was I think it was a $55 bet, something like that. But I bet on the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl and the AFC, so I hit on both of those.
Oh, sweet. Okay, so you're not holy shit, I might not be able to pay a bill betting, but you're betting.
I mean, there's
enough.
moderation for everything. Some people drink too much alcohol. Some people can drink a little bit and be all right. Some people, not that I condone it, but some people, I like to call weekend blow warriors. They can do blow on the weekend, and they're there at 9 a.m. and the job, they're like, I'm here. Hey.
Yeah, first thing in the morning. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, some people can't. They get one sip of the fucking sweet alcohol, and they lose their fucking ever-loving mind. You ever meet those people?
So if somebody,
one sip of beer and they're like, someone just hit their crazy switch, asshole.
Mm-hmm. There was somebody over here on Saturday, I won't say any names, who seemed like she only drank 2 or 3 seltzer beers, and then she was gone. She was shit-faced before the Chinese food showed up.
I don't know if I could respect the seltzer drinks.
I mean, you're good if you're doing what you're going to said you're going to do. There's no carbs in them.
That's true.
So if somebody's never bet on a sports game, what would be your advice to get into sports betting?
Start small, something you're comfortable with. Trust your gut, and don't make it too complicated, and don't chase. The number one thing is if you lose, don't chase. And what I mean is where a lot of people get in trouble. If you bet $50 and you lost it, don't make another bet to make it up and chase it. Because if you have to do that, you shouldn't have bet it in the first place, or that's how you end up losing more money because you're chasing. And things come in streaks. You'll go on streaks. No one actually ever knows the exact outcome of the game.
Mm-hmm.
You might have a hunch, and things go a certain way. I could tell you tons of games like that. I bet on them. If this one thing happened and this one thing and the ripple effect, in the game. But that's the fun of it. And if you do it as an enjoyment, that's fine. If you start getting mad and you're breaking shit and you're losing money and you're not paying your mortgage, that's a problem. You better call that goddamn 1-800 number they give out.
Yeah, and then when they answer the phone, ask them what kind of bet you can put on you actually doing it.
They took bets on wrestling this past year.
I think I heard something about that with one of the apps that does it.
That is a jerk off bet. I'm like, how can you? Wow, and so now wrestling's like, so what do you think they think backstage? That could leak out. Who gets the strap? Who doesn't get the strap? That's easy.
Oh, that is. I mean, obviously, it used to happen all the time where WCW knew the outcome of WWF at the time and would read the results live before you could even watch it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Whatevs.
Yeah.
Whatevs. So betting, I mean, it could be fun, and a lot of people are doing it now because you got FanDuel, you got DraftKings. In certain states, it's legal. Certain states, it's not. You got fantasy football, so that's a big thing, and that's another reason why I think football is definitely going to happen because there's a lot. The sport by far that gets the most money bet on it is football.
I still, and I think I've mentioned this on the show before. I'm still dumbfounded by the fact that, at least I haven't seen. And again, you might have already spoke to this. I don't see more on Twitch, on Facebook, of people playing NFL. Madden NFL or hockey or anything like that.
There were certain websites that were letting you bet on people playing the game.
That's what I'm saying because people do that. They do
there's
games
fantasy,
like Overwatch, games like World of Warcraft.
There's fantasy games like fantasy football for video games now.
I'm sure.
Did you even know that?
No, I did not.
You can actually pick the players, and and now I got Mike's addicted. I just saw his penis get hard.
Because me and you go downstairs and we boot.
I don't like the way that sentence started out.
We boot up the good old Xbox and we start streaming that we're playing. And you got a team and I got a team, And we
well, they would do
simulations
simulations too, Madden simulations.
Uh-huh.
And then you could bet on that at certain websites or watch it. So yeah, it's they found ways. People will bet on anything.
They will bet on anything.
Think about it. Some people throw dice in an alleyway.
I know.
Fucking
people bet on chickens racing.
Yeah, slugs,
Yeah,
greyhounds,
slugs, anything that you can bet
dog
on.
racing.
How many times can you play to flip a cup and make it land on its right end? I mean, bet on anything.
Yeah. So the Bucs are going to be good, I think. Their defense had to deal with the quarterback showing 30 interceptions. They were able to get to the quarterback. I think their defense is going to be much better. It was underrated, and they got some weapons in there. Tom Brady has been, I think, working out probably when he shouldn't have been with his players, so I guess he's getting a little advantage there. And, hopefully they social distance, but they were talking about that. But he's trying to make sure they're ready to play. And good for him, man. So I think they're going to have a real good shot. And Bruce Arians works best with veteran quarterbacks, from what I notice, the head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And, they got some veteran players they signed, and I think they're going for it this year. So I think they're a good team. And that would be my favorite to win the NFC. I know it's not the sexy pick because everybody's on it. But, when you look at the list, the NFC, the odds to win the NFC, I mean, you got San Francisco's in a plus 475. I don't think they're going to repeat, and they usually don't repeat. The Saints are plus 600. The Bucs are plus 700. The Saints seem to cough it up every time in the playoffs. You got followed by the Cowboys and the Eagles. I would go with the Bucs, and any other team that I see, and that would be my favorite to win the NFC. It's crazy as it sounds, and I know it's like the popular pick, but still people put them ahead. Now in the AFC, I think the Chiefs, because they got the best quarterback in the league. And again, it's almost going to be a repeat of last season. I don't know how much more improvement there'll be. Well, it's hard to say because we don't know how good the coaches are going to be able to coach in that environment. Some might not. So, Pittsburgh Steelers are only plus 1,200. They had they were 8-8 last year, but they got their quarterback back, so a Big Ben plays well. The Colts are plus 1,200, kind of surprising there. And the Patriots are all the way up to plus 1,100. They're behind the Chiefs and the Ravens to win the AFC. So these odds I was talking about with the AFC and NFC, and that changed once they got Cam Newton. So we're going to see. It's going to be interesting. So bets that I would take, plus 1,200 with the Colts. They got a strong running game and defense. Does Phillip Rivers have enough to put him over? If you're looking for long shot bets, the Browns at plus 1,800. Now go into these bets like, all right, I could put 50 down and I'm going to win, that type of money plus 1,800. That's a good chunk of change. If you win that, it's high risk, high reward. You don't want to just put that on all the high odd teams. But the Browns are looking good. They had a really good offseason. They're going to run the ball. I think Baker Mayfield's going to have. I'm into the Browns this year. I think plus 1,800 would be someone I'd be looking at the Browns for, and maybe see what their odds are to win the division. Just remember, I know you guys say, well, what about the Ravens? Well, they waxed the Ravens' ass 40-8, I believe, or if that's the score, it might have been higher. Ran all over them in Baltimore last year, so they can beat that team. So do not think the Ravens are invincible. As I told you before, they weren't, and I told you in the playoffs that they weren't. And just didn't think they would lose to the Titans. So you got team win totals coming up, right? And that's how many. So I'm going to give you a couple of those. We'll go over that. So for all my footballers out there. Man, football season is so goddamn close, too. It's like sneaking up on everybody, including myself. I mean, I've been paying attention to it and reading about it, but man, it doesn't really feel like it's the middle of August, even though it is the middle of August. It feels like, does it feel like that, Mike? It almost feels like the summer, it's here, but it's not.
Oh, it definitely does not. Yeah, it feels like it's the winter. It feels like it's about to be winter.
Yeah, and it's just, I guess, this whole new world we're all experiencing makes it feel weird, so. That's pretty much where we're at with that one. So, all good, all good. Did you, next week we're going to have some honorable mentions of some old school video games. I know Mike loves gaming.
Oh, yes. Deviant Gamer, my show. Check it out.
Yeah, that's right. I have a Nintendo NES collection that might make your eyes water.
Wow. You're going old school.
I have 50 to 60 cartridges, I think.
Oh, geez. You got to blow on them like crazy.
I upgraded to the Retron 5. Maybe you would like to be our sponsor, where you can put Sega, Super Nintendo, and NES in it, Famicom, and Game Boy.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, now so it uses all them, and it plugs in like a Nintendo Classic, but you're limited to your games with that one. Remember that,
right?
So I just bought the NES Advantage controller with the joystick. Pretty dope.
That is dope as hell. I want to play with your joystick.
Wow. That's all I'd say about that. So, yeah, next week we'll talk about that, with the good old honorable mentions, for our video games that people like. So, have you seen some of these houses some of these players have are ridiculous?
Of course they are.
And good for them, but jeez. So, Cleveland pitcher Zach Plesac says he's been wrongfully portrayed as a reckless monster for breaking MLB's COVID rules during a night out in Chicago, insisting he was being safe the entire time. The media is portraying me and my best friend, teammate, to be malicious with our actions when we were really practicing safe measures. Here's the deal. Plesac admits his teammates, Mike Clevenger, broke MLB rules by leaving the team in a hotel and staying out past curfew during a road trip into Chicago. Went out to a dinner with some buddies. We ended up going back to his place, same group that went to dinner with, and we opened up baseball cards. Wow, I always wondered if they looked at their own cards. Plesac says, that entire night, dinner and hanging out at my buddy's place. After, we were not with more than 8 people the entire night. The problem, obviously, is that MLB had put strict rules in place to prevent another outbreak. After COVID hit the Miami Marlins and the St. Louis Cardinals, when news broke of Plesac's night out, he was killed in the media and by teammates like Adam Pluco, I keep saying it wrong, who felt he violated their trust and put them at risk. So, yeah, another one. I don't know. Seems kind of innocent, but hey, he's got talent. That's why he hasn't been cut. And your contract's guaranteed in baseball. So there you go. Younger player. Stuff like this is going to happen. I don't know. I don't know if they're right on that one, personally. I think that they're going a little overboard. But, hey, there it is.
There it is.
We still paid the price just like everybody else. So, win totals. We have Buffalo Bills at 9. This is for Fish. I know he's going to hate this. I'm going to go under on that. Bills are going to get 9, so it might be a push. I would feel a little more comfortable at 8.5. The Falcons, 7.5 wins, I would go under. The Cardinals, over 7.5 wins, I would go over on that. The Cowboys are at 10 wins. I'm going to go under. I know you're going to say I'm saying that because I'm an Eagles fan, but I'm not. Because they have a great running back. They have a quarterback that's above average. They had a good offensive line until their best offensive lineman retired. And they have very thin depth there. They did make a nice signing with Everson Griffith. But last year, everybody was saying, oh, they're great. And what happened? They got 8 wins. Nice. So I'm going under on the 10 because I know they added CeeDee Lamb, but we're going to see what he's done. Can he do well when there's not a real training camp or preseason games? Will he develop a rapport with Dak Prescott? Dak Prescott is playing on a 1-year deal. And if he doesn't do well, he probably won't get that multi-year deal. Maybe he should have took that money. But okay, that's neither here nor there. But the Cowboys, I don't think are a 10-win team. Broncos, 8 wins. That's a tough one. I'm going to go over on that. I think that's definitely possible. The Miami Dolphins, 6 wins. I'm going to go under. The Redskins, 5.5. Man, they're going to keep a lot of games close with a good defense, but I'm going to go under on that. Seahawks, 9 wins. I'm going to go over. The Niners, 10.5 wins. I'm going to go under on the Niners. They just take a little bit of a step back this year. And the New England Patriots, 9 wins. I'm going to go over on that. So then you got the Bears at 8. And do we have a caller? I thought we had a caller. Then you got the Bears at 8 wins. So I think they're going to that's a tough one. It all depends on how a quarterback plays. I think they can go over on that. I think that will really improve their team and energize their team if Nick Foles steps in there and plays for them. Panthers, 5.5. Go under on the Panthers. The Baltimore Ravens, 11.5. I would go. That's a tough one, man. I wouldn't touch that. Remember, I'm giving you all my picks. Doesn't mean I'm necessarily going to bet on them. You have to make that decision yourself. But 11.5 is a high number. Do they get 12 wins? I'm going to go under on that. I think they get 11 wins, but they got that half point in there, and that's what always makes me suspicious. The Chiefs 11.5, think that's entirely possible. At 12, I wouldn't go any higher than that. And then you got the Chargers and the Rams. The Chargers, I would go over 8. I think they'll be a surprise team this year, maybe even. And then the Rams, 8.5. I would go under on them. Again, you got to look at new people, new systems, new coaches, new teams, new players, people leaving. So the Buccaneers 9.5 for sure. We're going over on that. And there's a whole lot. The Jets are at 7. Take that as an under. Like I'm telling you that now. The Giants at 6.5. I will go over. I think the Giants are going to be a little bit more competitive. Now the Eagles are at 9.5. I would go over. I say they're a 10-win team. But that is it, folks. So thank you for everybody that hung in there, my sports fans, non-sports fans, and that's pretty much it. We are going to find out how Mike's going to take it deep. With his own joystick and stuff. That's what he's talking about. Something like that, right? I can't remember.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but thanks for tuning in. Tell your mom about it. Share it. Taking It Deep with Lee Godfrey on Facebook. You can catch us live, toxicradio.net. If you have an Android device, iPhone, download the app Toxic Radio, and you can catch all current and past episodes. You can also go on the YouTube channel, and that is it. And this is Lee Godfrey, not saying goodbye, just saying take it deep till next week.